What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for MLB Thursday, July 6th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's MLB slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, we have a 6-game MLB slate tonight. So let's take a look at the pitcher position. So I like Tanner Bibee. He's pitching against a low salary batting team, the Kansas City Royals. So Tanner Bibee, he is only giving up a .588 OPS versus lefties. He's facing 4 lefties here tonight, and there's no pitches versus the Royals yet. Tanner Bibee is $9,200 FanDuel salary, $500 less on DraftKings, averaging 31 fantasy points per game on the season, but he's been on fire, scoring 50, 46, and 30 fantasy points in the last 3 games. He's pitching on average about 6 innings per game, has an ERA of 3.46, record is 5-2. So I like Tanner Bibee here versus the Kansas City Royals. Okay, let's take a look at the catcher first base position. So I like Josh Naylor. He's got a 30% batting advantage here over a low salary pitcher, Jordan Lyles. Josh Naylor batting 15% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .763 OPS versus righties. Jordan Lyles pitching his worst ball versus lefty batters, 15% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .827 OPS versus lefties. So Josh Naylor is 1 for 4 here versus Lyles, but I think the splits are good here, and he's $3,300 FanDuel salary, $900 more on DraftKings, averaging 11 fantasy points per game on the season. He has a batting average of .295, and he has scored fantasy points in all 5 of his last games, 3 of those being close to 20 fantasy points or more. So I like Josh Naylor here versus Jordan Lyles. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won. And then we'll send you $25 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, let's take a look at the second base position. So I got a value play for you here. I like Ramon Urias. He's got a 48% batting advantage here over Luis Severino. So Ramon Urias batting 33% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .728 OPS versus righties. Luis Severino pitching his worst ball versus righty batters, 15% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .881 OPS versus righties. So Ramon Urias, he is 0 for 4 here versus Severino, but I love the splits. And he's only $2,500 FanDuel salary, $300 more on DraftKings, averaging 8 fantasy points per game on the season. Scored fantasy points in 4 out of his last 5 games, although those have only been like 3 to 6 fantasy points. He does have a batting average of .259. I think it's a good low salary dart throw here, so I like Ramon Urias here versus Luis Severino. Okay, let's take a look at the third base position. So there's a lot of value on this slate, so I think you can go ahead and pay up here for Jose Ramirez. He has a 32% batting advantage over the low salary pitcher Jordan Lyles. Jose Ramirez batting 32% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .863 OPS versus righties. Jordan Lyles, he is giving up a .827 OPS versus lefties, pitches his worst ball versus lefty batters. So Jose Ramirez, he's 4 for 7 here versus Lyles. That's a .571 batting average and a 1.381 OPS. He's 3,800 FanDuel salary, 2,200 more on DraftKings, averaging 12 fantasy points per game on the season. He has a batting average of .287, scored fantasy points in 4 out of his last 5 games, although he has cooled off. No monster games as of late. Last game did score 12, but you're looking for 20 plus fantasy points here. So I like Jose Ramirez here versus Jordan Lyles.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Okay, let's take a look at the shortstop position. So I like Gunnar Henderson. He has a 23% batting advantage over Luis Severino. So if you do want to stack some bats here against Luis Severino, Gunnar Henderson, he's batting 38% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .791 OPS versus righties than Luis Severino, giving up a .750 OPS versus lefties. Gunnar Henderson, modest price tag here of $3,000 FanDuel salary, $1,700 more on DraftKings, averaging 9 fantasy points per game on the season. Did score fantasy points in all 5 of his last games. Has a batting average of .237. Now, I did struggle to find a pick at this position, so I like Gunnar Henderson here versus Luis Severino. And if you are looking for a super dart throw here, looks like close to minimum salary, take a look at Rodolfo Castro. He's got a 52% batting advantage over Julio Urias. So, Rodolfo Castro batting 52% better versus lefty pitchers, batting a .838 OPS versus lefties. And then Julio Urias pitching his worst ball versus righty batters, giving up a .759 OPS versus righties. And I like this pick because the splits are good. Well, the splits are fantastic. And Rodolfo Castro is 2 for 6 here versus Urias. And one of those is a home run. He's only 2,200 FanDuel salary, 800 more on DraftKings. So he's only averaging 6 fantasy points per game on the season with a batting average of .231. But as a total dart throw, low salary play, a guy who's got great splits and good player versus pitcher history. So I like Rodolfo Castro here versus Julio Urias. Okay, moving on to the outfield position here, we got Lourdes Gurriel Jr. He's got a 26% batting advantage over a low-salary pitcher, Carlos Carrasco. Lourdes Gurriel Jr., he's batting a little bit better versus righty pitchers, batting a .779 OPS versus righties. But Carlos Carrasco pitching his worst ball versus righty batters, 24% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .910 OPS versus righties. So Lourdes Gurriel Jr., he's 2 for 8 here versus Carrasco. Only $3,000 FanDuel salary, $1,800 more on DraftKings. Averaging 11 fantasy points per game on the season, which is pretty respectable here. Scored fantasy points in 3 out of his last 5 games. One of those was at 35. And has a batting average of .266. So I like Lourdes Gurriel Jr. here versus Carlos Carrasco.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smiggity smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this MLB slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again and good luck.